Okay. Writing and the Grace of God by Terry Bale. That's me. And now we're on the dedication page. At the top I put, God's children are lakes and streams, but God Himself is the water in them. Without Him, there would be but dust. Yet who made the dust but God? Dedication to God. And at the bottom, Bible verses. For dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt return. That's in Genesis chapter 7, verse 19. Chapter 3, verse 19. The next one. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. That's John chapter 4, verse 14. And did I show it to you already? That's that. Okay, next page is a table of contents, which I don't know if that makes sense to explain that. I'm going to try to make these things available hard copy so you could just read it for yourself. But at the bottom of this page it says, I put it, all scripture quotations are from the authorized King James version of the Bible. And this book was first printed in June of 1999. Readied for reprinting with a few slight adjustments in late 2004. And that might be the last time I've read through the whole thing. Okay, on the next page, before it really begins with part 1, which is about writing, but before that is this. At the top, I put a warning. I remember how my brother Jim, when we were young, once ate a whole huge bunch of peanut butter in one sitting. He's never cared for peanut butter since. If you come to suspect, as I have come to suspect, that this kind of writing here is the peanut butter kind, would you please be careful not to take too much of it at once? If I had had my druthers, I would have written it to me more like a meal, or more like a sandwich. But this, at the present, is the best that I can do. Then under that I put notes. Note number 1. If I could have trusted myself to mail these pages 1 or 2 at a time, as I had hoped, a poem here and an essay there, to the dear people who have been waiting to hear from us, I think I would have done it that way. But life being as complex as it is, I just wasn't managing it. So I've gathered them together. Yet now that they're collected here, it seems that they all overlap. I'm stuck. I dare not trim off the overlapping edges just to fit them together. They wouldn't be as good that way. Honest. Why does it have a dot on me? You don't know. It's because the sun. Oh, if I cover the sun. That might work. Now, where was I? They overlap. I'm stuck. I dare not trim off the overlapping edges just to fit them together. They wouldn't be as good that way. Honest. Oh, I did read that. And besides that, I wouldn't know where to start. So here I apologize for the echo and mention that I'm not so inclined to repeat myself as it might appear. Note number 2. I know I've done my best to present things as truly as I possibly could, to give you an accurate picture of how things really happen and what is really true. Timothy has read it and approves of it too, in general, and yet Timothy, my husband, Timothy is a very conservative person. For that matter, we both are. Neither of us expects that I have done the best job that could be done in explaining things. For one thing, there is more to life than fits into ink on paper. And my ink on paper is something rather new. But I am encouraged that he is pleased that we have finally written something, and that he too holds the hope that it will be a blessing. For you see, Timothy didn't ask me to do this. I just began to try to write something so as to get something in the mail to our family and friends who have not heard from us in so long. It turned out to be what you see here. If Timothy had had reason to hope that I could write something appropriate, he would have said, "Here, honey, sit down and write a few pages," meaning literally a few pages. It might have been better that way, for all I know. It sure enough would have been shorter, but it didn't go that way. Still, we hope and pray that it will be a blessing. And I would like to say that it sure has been a blessing just thinking of you all as I wrote. Note number 3. When talking, there goes a plane overhead. Propeller plane. When talking to people face to face, my speech is often clumsy. I think slow, but on the bright side, I think pretty thoroughly. So after the occasion has passed, I think out thoroughly what I should have said. Considering this, I feel I'd better mention that I haven't felt any improvement in my thinking speed over the time it has taken to write this. So, when you see me, I'll still just be plain old me. Please don't be too disappointed. Thanks. Note number 4. It's the last note. As written on page 16. I wrote something on page 16 and hey, that makes sense, so I brought it up here for note number 4. There's more to the story of dates and names and places, etc., and such details are worthy of mention in themselves, but I'm afraid I just couldn't do it justice. If you would like to hear more on any subjects I've written about, or on any other question, we'd be glad to explain things more in detail. But for now, I'd better leave it at this. And that at the bottom, encouragement. Please don't think that I'm hoping that everybody will read all of this. I must admit, I'm not so much of a reader myself. For the most part, it's hard to find the time. But I do rather hope that a thing or two will be a blessing to you. See what you find. And then part 1, about writing. Oh, there's the sunshine again. It came down. Oh, it came down further. So I shouldn't have to lean up more. It also depends on where I hold the phone. Okay. So, the next thing up. This portion is about writing. And here is a poem I wrote. I think it's probably about the 5th poem I ever wrote. It's a long one, but it worked. Okay, here we go. To Compose a Letter by Terry Bale. Perhaps it's the distance. Let's see. Oh, it's so pretty, the sunshine. But if I turn it this way, then... But over that way is the pretty colored leaves. Where'd they go? Oh, you can't see them too good. I guess right there. They're not too strong. And way over there, see? It's just woods all around. Let me try this. How about here? To compose a letter. Perhaps it's the distance, or 'cause it's one way, that when writing a letter, there's too much to say, and too little hope that when it's all through, the people who get it will understand you. A person might whistle, a person might sing, but to compose and write down is a different thing. A person might walk, or a person might run, but hurdles and pole vaulting rarely are done. It seems correspondence is much the same sort as hurdles and pole vaulting, strenuous sport. And writing out songs is like writing out letters. My heart would soar free, but I've pen and ink fetters. Some people can yodel with paper and ink. Some people take hurdles as quick as a wink. But most of us walk and sing as we go, content as we must be to amble on so. I think 'twas in grade school my trouble began. I could not write letters. The teacher would say, "You certainly can. You can and you must and you will, or this time next year this same desk you will fill." Nobody actually said that, but that was the basic, what do you call it, the basic, I can't find that word, lesson, the basic directive, the basic idea. Okay. You must and you will, or this time next year this same desk you will fill. But ma'am, begging your pardon, can't you see the great weight of the thing? Implications, complexities, dangers do bring. Communion is fashioned by communication, but clanging klutz clauses just causes frustration. Opening paragraphs, tone, punctuation, concluding sentences, poor integration. These weigh on your mind till you haven't a clue of what to say next or how to get through. If I were a teacher, what would I do? I'd give them the rules and then tell them true. Read excellent things. Write straight from the heart. Reread and rewrite till rewriting's an art. Ah, a telephone call. My husband's calling. I think I better answer that. So I'll put this on pause.